Hey you guys, as promised, I am back to help you make the healthiest choices in the grocery store when you're shopping for snacks like crackers, potato chips, granola, how to read those labels, what are some things to look for. So we're going to go through 3 main things that you want to look for, and then I'm going to go through each label as we go through and kind of point out some things and what my top choices are, which obviously are most of these, okay? So if you're new to my channel, I'm Catherine, founder of Foods That Heal You and Foods That Heal You CBD. As always, I will have links to my websites and videos below this video. You can also check me out on rumble.com. YouTube has been censoring my videos, so I've moved over to Rumble, and I'll have a link to that channel over there. All right, so let's get going here. So the first thing is there's 3 big things that you want to look for or avoid or whatever when you're shopping for snack crackers, chips, popcorn, stuff like that. The first thing is don't trust the front of the package. They're gonna say, the marketers love it when you look at the front of a package, and I'm gonna just use these chips as an example. These say grain-free. When was the last time you bought a potato chip that had grains in it, right? Now corn chips do, but potato chips don't. Potatoes are a root vegetable. So there's really nothing special about these chips. You want to look at what's grain-free really mean. Okay, I like these chips, but I'm going to go into detail. But anyway, the front of the package, you know, if it says no sugar or if it says low sugar, low carb, all gluten-free, all of these key catchphrases that they use to try to get you to think that their product is healthy. I'm here to help you so that you don't get scammed into buying something that's not actually healthy. So that's the first thing. You got to turn the package around and learn how to read the label. The second thing is sugar. You want to make sure that there's no added sugar, and there's hidden sugars in a lot of these products. There's tapioca starch. If you see the word starch, that's a big indicator of sugar. It's going to raise your blood sugar levels, especially if you're trying to stay low carb. So look out for the sugars. And flour, refined flour, for example, wheat flour. It's not a sugar, but it's going to raise your blood sugar. So grain flours, the word flour anywhere is a big red flag. You want to make sure that it's a coconut flour or an almond flour, something that is not a grain flour. All right, so go into more detail about that as we read these labels. The last thing is going to be the type of oil that's added. Almost always you're going to find oil. Now, I found one that doesn't have any added oil, well actually 2 of them, and it's fantastic because if you can avoid added oil, you're going to really, that's a big deal because 99% of the time the oils that they're using have chemicals to process them. They use chemicals to process them that's toxic and actually neurotoxins. And the oils are inflammatory. Sunflower oil, safflower oil. I challenge you to look at crackers at the store and try to avoid safflower and sunflower oil and canola oil. It's really difficult, you guys. So I'm gonna go through that as well. The top 3 oils you want to look for, it's actually easier to know which oils to look for rather than trying to scout out what to avoid. Look for coconut oil, avocado oil, and olive oil. Those are the top best-in-class 3 oils in any product that you're buying, okay? So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. I'm gonna start with the chips that I showed you. So on the front, you see grain-free, paleo, vegan, all these marketers, fantastic things. Okay, but when you actually read the ingredients, okay, let me see if we can get this to be clear in the video here, but you're looking at, you've got cassava flour. So cassava is a root vegetable, and it's not a grain, but it's better than potato because it doesn't raise your blood sugar as much as potato would. So it is a much better choice when it comes to flour. If you're going to use a flour that's going to be more carb heavy, it's going to be cassava. It's going to be the best choice, okay? And then the next thing they do is you want to look at what type of oil they use. I'm going to have to use my old lady glasses here, you guys, okay? So the oil, look at the oil they're using. They're using avocado oil. That's really awesome. And then they also using sea salt. That's really important too. I don't see any MSG. I don't see any tapioca starch. No starches in this at all. This is a really terrific, if you're gonna go for a potato chip, this is really great. It really is gluten-free. It's grain-free. They use a healthy flour overall. Sea salt, great oil. This is my top choice when it comes to chips. You can find it at Kroger, Whole Foods, a lot of different places sell these now. That's gonna be my favorite potato chip. Now, real quick before I move on, with chips, a lot of people like corn chips. Corn chips obviously are not going to be as healthy, but if you're going to buy them, the two primary things you want to look for is you really want organic when it comes to corn chips, because corn and grains, non-organic, they use glyphosate, which is in Roundup and the pesticide, and it's very toxic and it destroys your gut bacteria. I always you always want to make sure you have organic. Choose organic when you choose anything grain, especially corn, because it's so heavily doused in the pesticides, okay? The second thing, again, is the oil. What type of oil are they using? Are they using corn oil? That's junk. Try to find a corn chip that uses avocado, coconut, or virgin olive oil, or just olive oil, okay? Those are gonna be the top three. All right, so moving on, the next thing I'm talking about are flaxseed crackers, or just crackers in general. I have three examples here. The first one is going to be my favorite, top of the list, and that's Flackers. So Flackers are made from flax seeds. Flax seeds are high in omega-3s. And these are, I actually make my own. I have some right here that I made in my dehydrator. So you save a lot of money if you can make your own. You can bake them. There are a lot of recipes online. But flaxseed crackers are terrific, especially these, because they don't have any flour in them and they really have other great ingredients. So let's look here. We've got organic flax seeds, currants, organic apple cider vinegar. These ingredients are absolutely terrific. There's no starch, no flour, no oils added. These are great. These are my absolute favorite. Now, I will say they have currants in them, which naturally contain sugar. And so when you're talking about sugar, you want to avoid sugar altogether, right? But if you have like raisins, currants, basically a dried fruit in your cracker, that's okay because it's a whole food, unless you're on low carb, in which case, no. But if you're allowing whole food fruit, which I put in its own category, from added sugar, then it's okay. Now that all said, Flackers, they do have varieties that don't have any fruit, that are savory flavor, and they're totally low carb, and they would probably be keto friendly and all that good stuff. So you can look into that, but these are really terrific. And they are absolutely amazing dipped in the sunflower seed oil cream cheese that I did another video on. If you want to check that out, definitely want to check that out. The next crackers, okay, so that's first. This is the second on my list, and these are amazing too. Now let's look at the front of the label. So the front of the label, you can see all the things it doesn't have, which I always tell you is a red flag. And it says grain-free, which when it comes to crackers, a lot of them do have grains. But what's terrific about these, okay, so on the marketing thing, it does say actually no sunflower oil. So see, some of these companies are wising up that sunflower oil is actually not a good thing. So we turn it over, and let me see if I can get this to focus on the camera. I really hope I can. If not, you guys, I'll try. I will have these linked below, but no, it looks like it's not gonna focus for us. So let me read it to you, okay? Grain-free flour, almond, cassava, and coconut. All terrific. Cassava is a little bit carb, but not too bad. Organic sesame seeds, that's a whole food. Organic black chia seed, whole food. Organic onion, whole food. Sea salt, flaxseed. Poppy seeds, those are all whole foods. You notice there's no word flour in there except for the beginning, which a lot of it is flour, obviously, but the type of flour matters. It doesn't say corn flour, rice flour, wheat flour. They're using the best in class flour, almond, coconut, and cassava. That's awesome. Then the other really amazing thing about these crackers, can you tell I'm excited because they taste really good, is they don't have oil added. Why all these crackers have oil added, I don't know. It's so unnecessary. And these are so good. These are so tasty. I absolutely love them. I found them at Whole Foods. You can also get them online. Now these are gonna be my least favorite, and this is a really great example. These crackers here are a great example of crackers that they look really healthy. They're being sold as really healthy, but you gotta really, like I said, you gotta turn around and look at the label. So ingredient label. So see how it says sprouted seed? Sprouted seed. I'm just like, wow, that's awesome, because sprouted seeds are so healthy, right? But then they ruin it. They put sunflower oil in there. Oh my goodness, why would they ruin why would they go to all the effort to use sprouted seeds? Because it takes some time to sprout seeds, you guys. They sprouted the seeds and then they added a junk oil. So disappointing. Anyway, so that's the one thing. And then when you look at their seed blend, that's all good. But look, tapioca starch. Look at that. So there's another ingredient that I'm not crazy about because that's basically a sugar. So now we have the sugar and we have the oils that we don't want in there in this amazing sprouted seed cracker. So this is one that I would not buy. I normally wouldn't buy it, but I knew my husband would eat it if I bought it, and I could use the box to show you guys. Okay. So that's the crackers. That's one I would avoid. And of course, the obvious crackers like Ritz crackers, Triscuits, those are the obvious don't buys. What I'm reviewing here are the healthier versions of crackers and how to discern which one's really healthy and which ones are just marketed as healthy. Here's the last thing we're going to go through is granola. Now I'm going to tell you, it is nearly impossible, if not impossible, to find granola without sugar. Now you can get the keto or paleo granola where they use erythritol but you got to be careful of the oils too. This is a grain granola. Not all grains are bad, like oats are good. Yeah, and if you're on a diet where you're including whole grains, you just need to know which grains to include. So look on the front here, it says gluten-free, 3 grams of sugar, and coconut oil. So right away, you know that it's coconut oil, best in class oil, and 3 grams of sugar, which you guys, for granola, 3 grams of sugar is really good. Most of them have minimum 7 grams per serving. And just keep note in the back of your mind, 4 grams of sugar is a teaspoon. That's a lot of sugar. So when you get granola, you're not likely to have 1 serving because a serving is what, 1/3 of a cup? That's like nothing. People have 2 or 3 servings in a normal serving. So you take 3 grams and this times 3, you've got almost 2 teaspoons of sugar. 12 grams would be a tablespoon, and I'm telling you, a lot of them have 12 grams, a whole tablespoon per serving. So you really want to look at that. Then the next thing, so what we talked about is we want to look at the oils, right? So the oils in here are almond oil, coconut oil. I don't see any flour in here. There are whole brown rice. You're probably not going to be able to see this. What I'm going to do is on my website, if you click on store, there's a drop down that says Amazon. And anything that I can find on Amazon that's healthy, like this stuff I got on Amazon, I will put on that page. Basically my Amazon store is just different items that I approve of, that Catherine approved on Amazon so that you can find them easily. But this is the only granola that I found that's really acceptable. Now you will, like I said, find keto granola that's made of nuts, seeds, things like that, and that's okay. You just, again, you want to look at what type of oil they're using because that's going to be a big indicator whether it's an inflammatory, whether it has hexane, chemicals, and all that in it. So, all right, I think I covered everything here on my favorites, and then the one that's not so much my favorite. If you have questions, please comment below. If you have varieties that you think are really healthy as well, I'd love to hear what those are because there's just new stuff coming out all the time. And check out my video of the sunflower seed plant-based cream cheese. All of the stuff is really good dipped in that cream cheese. All right, thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.